what type of client are Danny and I here at Redefined Horizons in the best position to help? I think it's important to understand that. The reason it's important to understand that is if you have a bad match between client and consultant, everybody's going to be unhappy. The client's going to be unhappy with the service they get from the consultant, and the consultant isn't going to be happy with the way they get treated by the client. So it's really in everybody's interest to make sure there's a good fit between client and consultant, and that can be hard to do. So part of what we try and do here at Redefined Horizons to make that work, to get a good fit or a good match between client and consultant, is understand what we're good at and what we can help clients with and what we're not good at and when we're a poor fit. And unlike a lot of businesses, if Danny and I think that we're a poor fit for you as a client, we'll tell you that. We'll just tell you, hey, we don't think we're the right team. Here's why, and let us help you find the right team. Because there's a lot of other good folks in this business that do different kinds of work from us, and so we don't mind doing that. In fact, I just told a client yesterday or day before who was asking us to look at some work in Northern California, and I told him, I said, hey, they're used to working with a certain kind of consultant, and we're not that kind of consultant. They're used to working with a very small surveyor who has very limited technical capabilities, and they're very inexpensive, of course. And I just told this client, I said, we might not be a good fit for you guys. I said, I think we can be responsive. I think we have some technical capabilities that you'll appreciate, but we're not the same price as the guy you've been working with that works out of his garage. And that's okay. If we're not a good fit for you guys, we understand. Our feelings aren't going to be hurt. And so I think it's important to have honest conversations with your potential clients about if you're a good fit or not. And so, how do you know if Redefined Horizons is a good fit for you? How do I know if you're a good fit? If we're a good fit for you as a client? And that there's some different things I can talk about, but I'll give you the short version to start. We basically serve one market, one type of client, one type of market in one geographic region with one particular set of problems. So it's kind of a three-point framework here that we use to decide whether or not we're going to be a good consultant for you. So again, those three things are you in our market? Are you in the target market that we're trying to help? Are you in our region, the region that we're trying to work in? And are you doing the type of project that we can help with? So let's go through those three things, and I'll explain it to you. So the first thing is, are you in the type of market that we're trying to help? So basically, at Redefined Horizons, we only do work for the private commercial real estate industry. So we don't do government work, so I'm not working for cities and counties, and there's some reasons for that. And as a general rule, if we can at all avoid it, we don't do residential surveys. So we're not doing what we call lot surveys or boundary surveys for residential properties. And I won't, in this video, get into the reasons why. There's some reasons for that. So we don't do private residential work, and we don't do government. We don't work for cities and counties, and I don't see us working for state agencies either. So we basically help people in the private real estate industry, and it's because of the type of work that we want to do. We want to help people build things in California. So that's the market. If you're not in that market, if you're not involved in private real estate, either buying and selling or developing private real estate, then you're probably, Redefined Horizons is probably not a great consultant for you. You probably need to look at another team. Okay, so that's the first point. The second point is, what's the geographic region that we cover? So we only do work in California and Nevada, and I'm licensed in both those states as a land surveyor and a land planner. But we narrow that down even more. We will work anywhere in California and Nevada for a good existing client, but we don't pursue work with new clients outside of an even more limited geographic footprint. And that basically is Central California and a little bit of Western Nevada. So that includes the Bay Area, That includes this what we call the Central Valley, and it includes the Sierra Nevada foothills and the Sierra Nevada mountains, and just over the edge of the mountains into the Carson Valley. So that's cities like Reno, Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto, Tracy, Fresno, Los Banos, Patterson, Livermore, Pleasanton, Fremont, Oakland. We try not to go over to the peninsula if we can because the commute's really tough. So we like to stay in the East Bay, over in kind of the Tri-Valley area, Dublin, Livermore, Pleasanton, and then the Central Valley and a little bit up in the foothills and the mountains. So that's basically our geographic area. If you're a new client and you don't have a project in that basic strip across Central California and Western Nevada, we're probably not going to be a great consultant for you. Probably be better for you to find somebody local. So that's the second point. So the third point is what type of work are you doing? That's going to determine if we're a good fit or not. And so basically, we are trying to help people that are looking to smooth the buying and selling of commercial property or are looking to develop commercial property. So those are basically the two things we do. When I say commercial property, what do I mean? Basically what I'm talking about is anything that isn't residential, including single family homes. So we don't, there's a lot of firms in our area that kind of specialize in taking flat valley farmland and cutting it up for single family homes, subdivisions, 500 unit or 600 unit or 2,000 unit subdivisions. That's not what we're good at. If you want to do that, you should probably hire one of those firms. So we're focused more on ag, industrial, commercial, so retail, light industrial, infill development. So we do some residential, but if we do residential, it's the more complicated kind of infill development where you've got some land inside of the city in an urban area that you're going to develop. And those type of projects really leverage more of our expertise. So I spend a lot of time learning about other parts of the real estate industry, appraisals, planning, land law, and so we've made a great effort there to work really well with other people in the real estate industry. And a lot of those skills you don't necessarily need if you're just cutting up farmland into single family homes. But when you get into an urban environment where things get a lot more complicated, the land use, the utilities, the politics, then that skill set comes into play for us. And we do a lot of agriculture in Stanislaus and San Joaquin and Sacramento counties, and a lot of light industrial logistical work in and around Stockton and Tracy and Modesto. And so Danny and I have learned to of course we specialize in that kind of work because that's what a lot of the economic activity in our area is about. So if you're going to build a warehouse, or you got some farmland and you're buying or selling or leasing farmland, you're trying to finance your farmland operation, or you're doing retail development in one of our local cities, then we can help with that. That means we might be a good consultant team for you. So those are kind of the big three points. What are some other things that might indicate that we've got a good fit, good client consultant fit here at Redefined Horizons? We talked about before a little bit about the type of project. So let's talk about the size, project size. So we like small to mid-size projects. So if you want to build a stadium or a skyscraper in downtown San Francisco, our team's probably not going to be a great fit for you. That takes a really diverse team, a team with a lot of different skills. And you need a structural engineer, and you need you might need an environmental engineer, and you're going to need a team of lawyers, and you're going to maybe need a public marketing, a public outreach person. And so, a company more like BKF Engineering is going to be a good fit for really big projects like that in a big metro core. So we don't build skyscrapers or stadiums, but we build, we work on apartment buildings, student housing projects, retail centers, shopping centers, mixed use stuff, farms, warehouses, railroad spurs, that kind of stuff. So that's a good. So if you have a small to mid-sized project, that's a good indication that you might be a good fit for us. I got some notes here so I don't forget. If you want to work with a consultant team that answers the phone when you call, that's responsive, that's fast, that's adaptable, I think we're a good fit for you. If you've got a project, even a small project, you got a $15,000 project with Redefined Horizons, when you call, Danny, my partner, or I are going to answer the phone. So you're not going to talk to somebody 3 levels down. We don't have 3 levels. You're going to talk to me and Danny, and I think that's important to a lot of clients. Appreciate having that kind of relationship. And we take pride in the fact that when you call here, even with a small project, you're going to talk to the 2 guys that are in charge. And we can do things fast. So I was explaining to a potential client this week, we try and keep our turnaround on surveys to under 4 weeks. So we try and keep it right around 2 weeks because a lot of real estate projects need to close in 30 days. And so we work really hard to be fast in that way and to be adaptable. And you're not going to get those qualities out of a 500-person engineering firm, more than likely. Another thing I think that makes a good fit between us and a client is, I'm looking for clients that appreciate honest feedback from their consultant, that want an honest appraisal of the risks in a potential real estate transaction or development project. I do not want to work for people that want me to sugarcoat reality for them. I think that leads to poor decision making in real estate. And I do not want to work for people that think that I have the silver bullet solution to every problem, because I don't. And I think part of being a successful professional in real estate, either as a developer or a buyer, seller, investor, is understanding risks in real estate, understanding the ways in which those risks can be mitigated, and understanding which risks you can't mitigate. And there's some risks in real estate that you just can't mitigate. So I'm really looking for clients that want honest advice from an experienced professional about the risks that are associated with their project, and want help finding ways to mitigate risks so that high-risk projects can become low-risk and things can get built. And so that's another indicator that you might be a good fit for us, or that we might be a good fit for you, if you appreciate that honest advice and want you don't want stuff to be dipped in chocolate. You want the facts, and you want it straight. And I take pride in that. That's how I run my whole life in my business. Not just my consulting. I'm a very transparent and honest person, and I think Danny is too. If you're the type of person that wants to micromanage every little aspect of your real estate project, we may not be a good fit for you. We're looking for clients that understand that we're good at what we do. They want to be involved, but they also know that they need to let us do our work. That's part of the reason why you hire us, is because you know that we're better at it than you are, probably, in a lot of ways, at least certain aspects of the project. And most of our clients hire us because we provide good value for the money. So they don't want to do it themselves because they've got other more important things to do. And it's actually more affordable to have us do the work because we're good at it. So if you're the kind of client that wants to, make your own trip down to the clerk and recorder to pick up a document, or, you want to personally, check everything, every little thing that I've done on a survey, you might not be a good fit for us. We're really looking to provide value to clients that understand what they're good at and what we're good at, and kind of, we stay in our lane, the client stays in their lane. And if you want to be involved in real estate, but you don't need to deal with every headache, on the boundary, land title, land planning side, then we're a good fit for you. There's all kinds of other headaches that come with real estate development. Part of the way we're providing value, Danny and I at Redefined Horizons, is by taking away some of your headaches as a real estate investor or developer. So if you're looking for somebody that can take some stuff off your plate, then we're here to do that. If you want to keep everything on your plate, then we're probably not good value for the money. If you're looking for somebody that can help you assemble and run a good real estate team, I think Danny and I can help you do that. So as I mentioned before, we don't do everything. we've been in business for a long time. I've been in the Valley for 20 years. I'm honest. I try and work with integrity. People, I think, respect me. People in the profession respect me and respect my partner. That's part of the reason we started a business is because we had people asking us to do that. People in the industry that we knew. So I can help you build a team. Danny and I can help you do that. We can help you find a good appraiser. We can help you find a good land attorney. If you need Sequodocs, we can help you find somebody that can do Sequodocs. We can help you find a lender to finance your project. We can help you find an architect. We can help you find a good civil engineer. So I have relationships in the industry. Danny has relationships. We can help you build a good team, and we can help you manage that team. Not only can I help you find the right people, but we're willing to help you coordinate and manage the right people so that our whole goal, again, is to make it easier to get stuff built in California. And so putting together the right team is part of how we help our clients do that. I think if you're interested in building, if you're like me and you're like Danny and you care about the Central Valley, if you care about Central California and you want to build good projects that are good for the community, and I'm not trying to get all warm and fuzzy here, but if you want to design and build, projects that are pleasing to the eye, that are economically viable, that give people good places to work and good places to live, then you're a great fit for us, because that's what we want to do. I want to be able to drive by places in my community and be able to tell my nieces and nephews or my friends and family, I had a role in that. I helped my client get that project built. That's what really makes us feel good at the end of the day, and that's more important to us than driving a European sports car or having a yacht. We are really about making places in Central California beautiful and economically vibrant, and that's why we go to work every day. That's our passion. And I think one thing that sets us apart from a lot of other surveyors, civil engineers, and planners is that vision is clear for us. We are not confused about what it is we do. We have a very clear vision. And if you have a project like that, this team that I have here at Redefined Horizons, we're going to fight for you, and we're going to fight for your project. I'm going to be at the public meeting fighting for your project. I'm going to be talking to the neighbors fighting for your project because it's going to be something that we believe in. We're going to share your vision. I don't want to work for people that are crooked and that want to cut corners, that want to build projects that make the places that I work in and that I live in worse places to live and work. That's not what we want to do. So if you're really interested and invested in Central California, especially the Central Valley, which is a beautiful place and a place of tremendous potential, I believe that, then you're a good fit for us. We want to help you make the Central Valley a great place to live and work. So the last thing on my list here, I think it's the last thing, is, as I mentioned before, I touched on this a little bit, but to expand on it a little bit, Danny and I have been in the industry for 20 years, and we live and work right here in Central California, and we care about the people that are here, and we care about our communities, and we've worked really hard to build good relationships with folks here in the Valley. So, I don't sugarcoat stuff. But I also work very hard to try and keep good professional relationships with people at our local cities and counties that regulate land development, with our local title companies, with our local real estate appraisers, with our local real estate brokers. And part of the way we do that is we try to always be polite and professional. We answer the phone when people call. And if people call here and have a question, I try and answer it. And I don't send everybody a bill. I had a guy come in just this last week. He came in. There's some farmland outside of Oakdale. There was a subdivision done in the 90s. Looks like some stuff got messed up. The ditch that feeds this irrigated pasture, almost 20 acres, is on the wrong property. There's some conflict between the neighbors. The ditch is shut. We're rolling into May here. That guy needs to irrigate. And the guy just came in and said, hey, can you look at the title report? Can you look at the subdivision map that was done? Can you look at the deeds? Can you help me figure out what's going on? How do I help these two guys get this resolved? And I sat down with him. I spent 30 minutes with him. We looked at the docs. I drove by the side on my way home, gave him some advice. I didn't charge him for that because that's the kind of relationships that my partner Danny and I are trying to build here at Redefined Horizons. So if you've got a project in the Central Valley or Central California, you want to work with a couple guys that go out of their way to build really good relationships with people in the real estate industry, then I think our firm might be a good fit. We might be a great fit for you as a consultant team.